Thank you, Corey. A murder mystery to report this morning in Mesa. A woman was found dead overnight inside a massage parlor.
And it looks like that woman worked there. It happened at the Taiwan Massage Parlor near the Loop 101 and Baseline. That's near the border between Tempe and Mesa. Cops got a call from a man who said he heard a woman crying and screaming. When they got there, they found the woman dead. Cops don't have a suspect right now, but they do believe the woman and the suspect were the only ones inside the parlor.
You may remember the story of the 2-year-old boy found dead in a wash just downstream from the Beaver Creek campsite this past summer. Well, now the mom who was in the process of adopting him is behind bars. Christina Prem is accused of exposing kids to drugs at the campsite where the remains of Siler Newton were found. She has not, however, been charged with Siler's death. Now, the little boy's grandma spoke to Fox 10 about the news of at least this arrest.
I'm glad she's arrested. We'll get some justice. It may not be the type of justice we're looking for, like for his death. At least she'll get something out of it.
Investigators won't say what kind of drugs were involved. They also won't tell us if Siler was a victim, but witnesses say they saw him stumbling around the campsite, vomiting and unable to walk.
New this morning, a woman is shot in a Peoria neighborhood. This is near 83rd Avenue in Deer Valley. Here you see a helicopter airlifting the woman to the hospital. Very few details right now on this story. We do know the woman was shot in the stomach. Also new this morning, a scary surprise for a woman in the West Valley. She comes home to find a pair of burglars in her house. It happened last night in Phoenix near 59th Avenue in McDowell. Police say the woman was attacked and robbed when she came home. We don't know if she was hurt or if the suspects have been caught.
Well, he's seen on jail video apparently beating 2 inmates, even breaking one of their jaws. But the Maricopa County detention officer will go free for now. Prosecutors say they don't have enough evidence to charge Officer Kevin Gerster. Now, the county attorney could file new charges if more evidence comes forward. Gerster, as you probably remember the story from just a few weeks ago, was accused of beating inmates and was apparently captured on jail video standing on one of the inmates' neck and punching another inmate. So if that video is out there, it's unclear why that wouldn't have provided prosecutors enough evidence.
Several people waiting for transplants made an emotional plea to Governor Brewer, calling on her to restore money slashed from the state's transplant program. 4 people on the transplant list, along with their families, and several Democratic lawmakers held a news conference at the state capitol yesterday. They asked Governor Brewer to do something now before it's too late for them. Democrats want the governor to call a special session or use federal stimulus funds to cover the cost. However, a spokesperson for the governor's office says funds were already used for job creation, education, and public safety.
Well, if you ever wanted to meet a former president, here's a chance. George W. Bush will be making a stop in the Valley tomorrow to sign copies of his new book, Decision Points. He will be at the Barnes & Noble store at the 101 in Tatum. It's the Desert Ridge Barnes & Noble. But here's what you need to know. Customers have to get a wristband in order to meet the former president and get that book signed. And the wristbands are going to be handed out beginning at 9 o'clock this morning at that store, the Barnes & Noble at the Desert Ridge.
Going to be some long lines. One Tempe restaurant is serving a new item for the holidays, but it won't make Santa or Rudolph very happy. Cafe Boa is adding reindeer to the menu this week. Actually, they're calling it North American Caribou, but it's considered reindeer in some countries. This is the same restaurant that served rabbit last Easter. Very creative menu there.
Sure, yeah.
Hey, the Suns bring a 3-game winning streak to Portland as they take on the Blazers.
I don't know what it is about Portland, but it's hard for them to win. They do have a good crowd, a good rowdy crowd. Let's go to the highlights. Jay Rich heading to the basket here, gets past everybody for the nice smooth layup, and early on the Suns are up. Steve Nash had a very nice game last night with all his usual assists. He also scored 24 points, including this one where he works the baseline and brings it back around. But, well, it was some of that three-point shooting for the Blazers that really did the Suns in. For example, right here, Nicholas Batum with a clutch 3 that puts the Blazers up by 7. They go on to win 106-99. The Suns host the Memphis Grizzlies tonight.